Hi, good afternoon everyone. This is Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. So I help busy women fix their reflux, bloating, IBS, painful digestion, any related hormone issues or chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, that kind of thing, which quite often are linked into what's going on in your gut. And I do this with usually state-of-the-art testing, either gut testing, hormone testing, organic acids or whatever, and then dietary and lifestyle upgrades to bring things back into balance for you. So one area that tends to crop up a lot while I'm speaking to people on their initial calls is they think they may have Candida, or they've been on the Candida diet. So this is kind of an overused phrase, really. There's not really, having Candida itself isn't an issue. It's when it starts to overgrow, that's the problem. And there are several ways this can happen, which I'll go over in just a second. So first up though, so we're supposed to have a little bit of Candida, and so you know that's not the problem there. And also going on the Candida diet can sometimes have not quite the desired effect, because it's a very restrictive diet, and if we restrict our diets too much, it can end up having a negative impact on our microbiome, which of course then can make the problem worse. So it's important really, if you think there's anything like this going on, to really kind of pinpoint the issue properly, and we can do this with testing and stuff. So back to Candida then. So what causes an overgrowth? So if you have been taking, if you've had one course of broad spectrum antibiotics, that can be a problem, or lots of short courses over the years, or you've been on prolonged course of antibiotics. If you've been taking the contraceptive pill as well, that will do it. Eating lots of sugar, being very stressed all the time, pollution as well will not help things. Diabetes, or if you've been taking corticosteroid medications, and drinking a lot of alcohol. So a lot of these things can run concurrently, so you can have not just one of these things but lots of these things playing a part together, and they can all contribute to having a Candida overgrowth. So these are quite common things as well. Lots of people will be doing like a lot of these things all the time. So this is why we tend to get overgrowths, not only in our kind of Candida yeasts, but other yeasts as well, and parasites and bacteria that is not quite so beneficial for us. So what are some of the symptoms then? Well, a big one would be feeling tired a lot of the time. So your immune system is constantly trying to get on top of this yeast infection or this yeast overgrowth. And because of that, you will, feel tired a lot of the time. You feel groggy when you wake up, or feeling quite like, you just haven't had enough sleep when you wake up. Also being in a bad mood a lot of the time. If you've got that kind of cranky, crotchety, everything's getting on your nerves kind of thing going on. And also tied into that would be bad PMS as well. So if you're having bad PMS, I would probably look into whether or not yeast overgrowth or something else is causing that underlying issue there for you. Also perimenopause symptoms as well, perimenopause, menopause, sometimes that can be exacerbated by having a yeast overgrowth. Yeah, someone's saying here trauma causes so many health issues. Absolutely does, and it's something that's not recognised enough, I don't think. It's often forms part of, a big root cause here of what's going on with a lot of the gut and hormone problems generally. So a big one as well, a big telltale sign that you may have Candida overgrowth is recurrent sinusitis. So if you have sinusitis you can't get rid of, I would be looking to see if there is a Candida infection going on somewhere. Ditto UTIs, another kind of stubborn issue that quite often doesn't get tied back properly to the root cause. So if you are getting recurrent UTIs, I would be looking into probably doing a vaginal microbiome test as well as a gut microbiome test, and just seeing there what's driving the issue, because quite often there can be something like Candida or another yeast that's causing a problem. Digestive symptoms as well. So if you have got these IBS symptoms that are quite common and you're not getting anywhere with the doctor, sometimes there can be a yeast overgrowth behind that as well. It will give you this bloating, diarrhea, constipation, painful digestion kind of issue. So it is always worth trying to get to the root cause of what's happening there. Another huge symptom that it is Candida that you're dealing with is brain fog. It's horrible brain fog. You feel like you've got cotton wool between your ears, you can't concentrate, you can't think properly. And that again is a big sign that you've got Candida or possibly something similar going on. Poor memory as well, lack of focus. It shouldn't be like that. It's not a sign you're aging. There's a reason there. You just need to find out what it is. If you've got Candida, you're going to find it very hard to control your blood sugar. So your blood sugar will be going up and down all the time. It doesn't matter how much protein or whatever you're eating. It's just this kind of, it's just very imbalanced. So quite often when we do get a handle on people's gut symptoms, then you find that starts to regulate itself as well. Any kind of fungal infection around the body, so vaginal thrush, athlete's foot, itchy patches on the skin, can all point to potential Candida infection as well. So I think that's about it really for those signs. Let me just check I've covered everything. Allergies as well, allergies and low immunity, your immune system not firing right, either firing too much or not enough is another sign. So the effects of it are many and far reaching, and as I say, the only way to tell really if it is that is to do a straightforward kind of organic acids is normally a good test, or a gut test as well can be quite useful. Okay, so I hope you did find that useful. If you did, do like and share, and I shall see you next time. If you'd like more information about any testing or nutrition support, then just pop me a DM and I'll get some information over to you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.